Welcome back, everybody. Just there, just about on this end peg here, is Fabian just putting a skimmer in the net, and that's all he's caught. He's only caught skimmers up to now. Welcome back to the live stream. Thank you to everybody for all the great messages. As you, if you are new to this channel, new to these kind of live streams, it is an experiment this weekend just to see if these are the things that you want to see from live matches that I'm not fishing. Okay, so here it's day two of the Golden Rod Feeder Final at Larford Lakes. Now I'm not going to go into too much detail about what's happened, about yesterday and all that sort of stuff. If you want to catch up on all those streams from day one of action here at Larford Lakes, then all those streams are directly underneath for you to watch just on playback. We have been streaming today as well. We kicked off at 11 o'clock. There is another stream giving you an update after 1 hour, and you know, that will obviously, that's there for you to watch if you want to catch up on what happened there. So I'm over on Shelley Bank. This is Spessy Lake, and over there is Match Lake. So a bit of a quick kind of summary for you. It's lovely to see so many thumbs up for these videos. I can see the number there going up, and please, when I get a chance to sit down at home and analyse things, that does make a difference, because it tells me what you want to see, and it means you're enjoying the coverage. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to give you a full walk down of this bank to give you an idea what's been caught and by whom. Okay, so just a quick update for you. I'm going to stay here for the update basically, and that is over on Match Lake over there. One of the favourites for today, the angler who won his section yesterday. Thank you, David Lee. I've just spotted that there on the chat. Thank you. One of the anglers that was, well, he was the favourite for today, to be quite honest. He won his section yesterday. That's Tom Pickering. He's over there on the MPEG 34. He had fish crashing everywhere in front of him, and I'm not going to go into too much detail about the early stage, because you can see that in detail on the previous live stream. So I know some people are watching everyone, so I don't want to keep going over old ground. Tommy got off to a great start. He caught 3 or 4 fish in the first half hour or so, but then it died on him. It really went quiet. However, the peg that didn't really produce much yesterday, which is peg 1, which is bang opposite him, suddenly caught 5 fish. However, his 5 fish are much bigger than Tommy's. And the angler on peg 2, which is Shemek, he caught a fish after 40 minutes, but his 1 fish would have cancelled out all Tommy's fish. And that's giving you an idea of what kind of match this is. You know, it's fishing a commercial fishery. It's just about all method feeder fishing, and when that tip goes round, it could be a 1 pound F1, or it could be a 25 pound carp, and you know, that's what it's all about. So just to keep you up to date on Match Lake, Tommy is, obviously we're keeping an eye on Tommy, being a section winner from yesterday. He's on a great peg, but it doesn't mean to say that the fish are there and going to feed, you know, and you don't always, you know, they're not going to give up, you know, they don't just throw themselves in the net. So Tommy, whilst we don't think he's winning that section, he's right in the mix. He only needs you know, 2 or 3 more fish to get back up to speed, and obviously if Tommy's fish are going to be bigger fish as well, anything can happen over there. We're just coming up to the halfway stage. We kicked off at 11, we're fishing until 4. Now that's the top end of there. The middle section is fishing quite fair, to be fair. Quite even, you know. It's hard to tell who's winning that section. It's such a tight section, 1 fish here and there. We can't honestly say who's winning that middle section. However, when you get down to the bottom end, which is where the island is, it's difficult to do this on this camera. There we go, there we go, that island there on Match Lake, the bottom end. One of the favoured pegs from yesterday, or the favoured peg today, was peg 18. Now that's the peg that Steve Brindley was on yesterday. He weighed 124 pound on there, and Gary Swain's drawn that peg today, and obviously he knows the venue well. He's a great angler. However, up until an hour ago, he'd had 1 bite. He'd had 1 skimmer. He's now got, I think he's got 1 F1 and 2 skimmers for £4. However, to his right, which is peg 19, which is the peg that didn't produce much yesterday, he's got 8 great big carp. So those 2 pegs there, 18 and 19, it looks like it's complete reverse. Yesterday peg 19 was watching 18, today peg 18 is watching 19. That's fishing for you, isn't it? But he says his 8 fish are all great big fish. He's probably winning the match, to be fair, if that's right, if those fish are big fish. So he's winning the match, so he's doing brilliant down there. So the favoured peg down there isn't producing, but peg 19 is also an end peg, you know, and he can see fish down there where he's fishing. You know, it's very, very shallow. You can see tails coming up and all that sort of stuff. But as we've said before, sometimes that makes them very, very difficult to catch. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to walk all the way down the Spessy Burbank for you. I've had a little bit of an update down here, so I know pretty much who's caught what down here, just to put you in the picture about how it is at this halfway stage and about how close it is. You know, people think on commercials like this, you know, there's always going to be one or two pegs that are going to run away with it, and it's just not like that, especially when it's cold like this. Well, water's cold, the weather's changed, the wind direction. You'll see how everyone's dressed today. They've all got winter gear on, hoods up, gloves on in some cases. So if I just flick the camera around for you, please keep letting me know with a thumbs up if you want me to continue these. Please, it does make a difference, because I know a lot of you aren't on Facebook and all that sort of thing, so you can't see the normal updates, whereas on YouTube obviously anybody can watch them, and it is an experiment. I've never done these on this channel before, because I'm careful with this channel. I don't want to start showing you stuff that you don't want to see. I'm very protective about it, and you know, if I can be in tune with what you want to see, then that's going to help me produce far more content for you that you like. Okay, so on this end peg here, this is peg 34. This is Fabian. He's only caught skimmers up to now, not many at all, but as you can see to his right, he's got so much water here to have a go at. We haven't seen any carp moving or anything like that, but it is an end peg and anything can happen. I'm sure there was a 20 pounder caught on here in the last few minutes yesterday, and if this section remains tight, then a fish like that is going to be mega important. Next one along here is peg 33. This is Eddie Bryden. Eddie was on peg 1 yesterday on Match Lake, and he's got about 10 pound of skimmers, that's what he's telling us. Alright, so he's got no carp caught on these N2 pegs. Next one along here is Mario. This is peg 32. Mario, he's just got 1 or 2 skimmers, that's all. Again, no carp caught. So you can imagine what one carp, how important one carp is going to be if you can get one. And if you've got a few skimmers to go with it as well, that can make all the difference. Next one along here is peg 31. This is Dale Haywood. I've just spoken to him. He's got a couple of skimmers, but he's got one great big carp, one very big carp. So he's definitely doing the best on this bank for this section. Next one along is Andy Kinder. Andy's only caught a few skimmers. No sign of carp yet. I'm not sure if he has tried fishing for them or whether he's caught them fishing for carp or not, but Andy will keep going. So again, no carp caught there. And the next one along here is Craig, who you saw. I already done a walk along here once for you today. That's Craig, and he's just had skimmers. So again, no carp. So as we get down here, this is coming off the bank that they've been working on, which as you can see is starting to get some grass growing on it. This is the bottom of the slope, as they call it. That is the peg that Darren Cox was on yesterday. That's not been drawn, so we missed that one out. That's peg 28. So there's 27 here is Gaz Donaldson. So he's got 1 or 2 skimmers, but he has got a carp, but he's the smallest carp in the lake, so we're not counting that one. And as we get down here, we get to 26. This is Max. Max won his section yesterday, so he's on 1 point from yesterday. He's only caught skimmers up to now. He has got a few skimmers and the odd bream as well, but he has had a carp looking at him next to his keep net, taunting him. So no doubt he will be going for one if he isn't already. Next one is 25. This is Stefan Gent's got some skimmers again. Then underneath the umbrella there is Carl Barnfield. Again, it's all about skimmers. And then as we get down here, all about skimmers. There aren't any big carp caught down here, apart from the one that Dale's got. That's John Marshall. Next one down 22 is Jason Cawthorne. Jason's got a carp and some skimmers, so he's one of the very few anglers who's actually got a carp. Enjoying that ground bait, you aren't you? Hey? So that's Jason Cawthorne. Peg 21 now is next. This is Martin Carpenter. We think he's just got a few skimmers as well. And we're getting down towards obviously that end peg now that was favoured by so many people, quite rightly. You know, it's had 2 fantastic days. That's Martin. And then we get down here again, it's just got some skimmers. Now next one is peg 20. Now this is Steve Brinley. Steve Brinley had the top weight yesterday. He won his section, so that means he's on 1 point. However, he's actually caught 2 carp, so he's on 1 point. He had the top weight on the match, 124 pound, and he's had 2 carp today. Now one of them's only 4 pound. I say only 4 pound. It was very welcome, but a few minutes ago we did witness him catching a huge carp, a great big lump. So he's one of the very few anglers who's got a lump carp. He's got one about 4 pound, and he's got a couple of skimmers as well. So that puts him right in the mix, especially with being on 1 point from yesterday as well. Next one along is Dave Smith. I think Dave's just got a few skimmers. And then as we get along to this end peg, now this is peg 18, this is Vic Molyneux. This is the peg that Dave Wood was on yesterday, that had £117 off. He won the section just over Simon Fry. Simon Fry was bang opposite. Simon Fry was on that end peg there. Simon Fry, he was the one that caught £80 in the last hour. He weighed about £113, I think it was. So he was second in section to Dave Wood, who was on this peg. Now Vic has been struggling, to be fair. Well, surprisingly, up until the last few minutes, he'd literally got one skimmer up until about 15 minutes ago. And then 15 minutes ago, he hooked a big fish, took his time with it. Took him a while to land it, but he did land it. So he has got one great big carp. I think it was the first cast on one of his shorter lines. So that may be a sign that there are one or two bigger fish down there to be caught short. But in comparison to yesterday, he's had nowhere near as many signs as what Dave did, or what Nick Speed had the previous day on the match, on the open match, which won the match. So it looks like the fish have shifted. We did get a bit of rain overnight. We had a bit of rain, it's gone much cooler, and that wind has completely switched direction. So the conditions are completely different from how they have been. So that's pretty much your halfway stage update. We're going to head back over to Match Lake, and what I will do before the end of the match at 4 o'clock, I will put another update video or another live stream on this catch fishing channel for you, just so that you can just get a feel for what's happening in the later stages of the match. I won't be able to film the weigh-in live for you for this channel, and that's because I'm filming the weigh-in live for the Golden Reel Angling Facebook page. So if you do want to watch the full weigh-in, we think I'm going to be filming the whole weigh-in from Match Lake. We think that's what it's going to be at the moment, but we'll find out. What we'll determine that is, we'll see who the potential leaders are, and you know, we'll try and pick a lake based on where we think the winner may come from. At the moment, based on what we know right now, it could be Spessy Lake, because Steve Brindley sounds like he's really in the mix. We need to get some information from what's happening over there on the Burr, so I'm going to try and do that. We don't think they're catching much over there, because I think we'd know about it. One of the things that happens here, when you're pegged here, a lot of the anglers, particularly when they're method feeder fishing, they're just sat watching the anglers on the other bank. So you can do that when you're method feeder fishing, and usually they say that they can see people catching, and that's not been the case so far. So at the minute, it looks like the live weigh-in on Facebook for the Golden Reel Angling page will be on Match Lake, but obviously that may change. So if you're on Facebook and you want to watch the live weigh-in, please head on over there. But that'll be obviously from 4 o'clock onwards. But for you watching on YouTube, I will do another update stream for you before 4 o'clock to let you know if anything's changed, and we may even have one or two predictions of who we think may have won it. So thanks for all the great messages, everybody. As you can imagine, it's been a very long day yesterday, and it's been a long day today, so I haven't had a chance to go through all the messages and things. Hopefully I'll get a chance to do that tonight, if not tomorrow, but I will go through them all. Everything I produce on this channel for you, I want to produce the stuff you want to see, so I rely on your feedback. You know, there's 1,000 different types of videos I can do out there for you, or 1,000 experiences I can share with you, so the thumbs up and comments really matter. Thank you. So I'm going to head over to Match Lake, get some up-to-date information for you, and this is where the wind's blowing straight down into this bank now, and we are expecting one or two things to start changing as the day progresses, because as we saw yesterday, the last hour yesterday, there were literally 50%, well, half of the anglers on Match Lake must have got 50% of their catch in the last hour. We know that hour is slightly earlier today because of the clock change, but whatever happens, we are expecting it to get better, and that's when we can see some big changes as regards the leaders and stuff. So thanks for logging on, everybody. It's great to see you. Hope you're enjoying your Sunday afternoon, and I'm just going to go and get some more information for you, and if you want to catch up on everything that's happened so far, have a look underneath for the other streams. So I'll check in with you shortly. I'll get some more. Great big carps just crashed there. Look at that. I bet that's where they all are, where the wind's blowing in. I'll check in with you in a little while with the next update before we actually weigh in at 4 o'clock. So thanks everybody, and I'll see you in a little while.